Ask Professor. My name is Sidra Hashmi, and the song I chose to speak about today is called The Veil by Dawud Wharnsby. Dawud Wharnsby is a singer whose voice I have been hearing since the earliest days of my childhood, from playing on cassettes in our old van to CDs in our Honda Pilot, and now Bluetooth speakers connected to my iPod and iPhone. His songs have been subliminally affecting my thoughts, as you can imagine, since those early days, and I have been growing while realizing how applicable they are in my daily life and the world around me. When I hear a song, The Veil, it affects me like you could say the ABCs might affect us. The ABCs is a song that we've had drilled into our brains since fairly soon after we were born, and although it's something of our childhood, we can't help but sing along and hum the tune as it starts up. We feel a sense of joy and reminiscent happiness and familiarity as it strikes a number of chords within us. Just as the ABCs have been ingrained into our very being, The Veil has similarly been ingrained into my very being. Although the ABCs is a song I love and we all love and know, and it does apply in my daily life, The Veil is a song in which its applicability is much more relevant in my life. A lot of folks, moving on now, a lot of folks know that the hijab is the headscarf that Muslim women wear to cover our hair. What a lot of people, Muslims included in this, do not understand is that it is also, there's more to it than just covering the hair. Women who wear the hijab, called hijabis, cover a lot more than just their hair with that piece of cloth. The Veil is a song that enlightens its listeners to the beauty in hijab while also attending to the misguided thoughts of onlookers and simply curious acquaintances. So a little bit of background information I need your help getting out. How many of you know what hijab is? Okay, we got a few here and there. Is my hair the only thing that I'm covering by wearing a headscarf? Roxana says no. Okay, a bunch of you say no. It's the general consensus, no. Hijab is basically an embodiment of modesty, humility, and self-respect. Although physically, yes, I'm covering my hair, I'm also covering my neck, my arms, my legs, my front side, back side, the whole deal. Aside from the physical, mentally, hijab is also a state of being. It's a mental state of being. It's a constant reminder for us to be the best who we can be, and for we are walking representations of our religion and its morals. We strive to achieve modesty, humility, respect, kindness, generosity, and that whole spiel of a lot of good things. So the song, The Veil, takes the form of something to the effect of a conversation between the general public, referred to as they, and a young Muslim woman who happens to wear the hijab and is referred to as she throughout the song. The song opens with the general public addressing the girl, the hijabi. They say, "Oh, poor girl, you're so beautiful, you know, it's a shame that you have to cover up your beauty so." Okay, so help me out. What are you supposed to say to something like that? And I was going to write it on the board so you can refer to it when I ask the question. The marker's not working. Try putting yourself in my shoes. If someone came up to you and said, "You're so beautiful, it sucks that you have to like wear all these clothes and like cover everything up, like don't you feel like you look ugly," or like something like that, how would you respond? Well, do you think you'd be able to answer that? Like, anything? No, right? And it's crazy to think, but I have gotten things like this before from friends, from family, from other Muslims who don't wear hijab or don't understand why you wear it. And like, each time I have no response, and my mind goes blank, and I'm just like confused and sort of like taken aback when I really don't know what to say right now. There's a lot I could say, but it would take too much time. You would lose interest, or you would just walk away feigning understanding and not knowing a single thing that I just told you. Dawud Wharnsby in his song responds to this through the girl's voice and says, "She just smiles graciously, responds reassuringly. This beauty that I have is just one simple part of me. This body that I have, no stranger has a right to see. These long clothes, this shawl I wear, ensure my modesty. Faith is more essential than fashion. Wouldn't you agree?" I don't know about you, but I could not have said that any better myself. And I'm saying that from experience because I have gotten that question, and none of my responses were as clear and concise as that one was. And also what he does in that response, he doesn't make it sound like the girl is trying to be opinionated or like prove the other person's beliefs wrong. She's simply opening the questioner's eyes to a different mindset and point of view. In another line, he continues, "They tell her, 'Girl, don't you know this is the West and you are free. You don't have to be oppressed, ashamed of your femininity.'" Another thing that I have gotten, and it just blows my mind. If this is the West, isn't it my free will to do what I want, to dress how I will, to follow my own religion? And yet people think this is the West, you don't have to be oppressed, like as if this is something that I didn't choose. How many of you think that this is something that I was forced to wear? Okay, general consensus, no. It was my choice, and I started in 6th grade, and it's sad, but I got in a really big fight over it with my mom because she didn't want me to wear it out of fear that I would be discriminated against and bullied by students and teachers alike. And we really had a large argument about it, and in the end I kept it on. And yes, I've had my experiences of discrimination and such, but nothing we can't handle. And Dawud Wharnsby's response to this is much better than anything, again, that I could have said. And he says, "She just shakes her head and speaks so assuredly. See the billboards and the magazines that line the checkout aisle with their phony painted faces and their airbrushed smiles. Well, their sheer clothes and low-cut gowns are really not for me. You call it freedom, I call it anarchy." Again, he doesn't show the girl as being offended or taking the question harshly. He shows her as being confident in her beliefs and unfazed by the endearing remarks and questions of others. And for lack of time, I'll close with this. I have been raised learning of all the good in the world, but growing up, of course, I have lived through many of the hardships and injustices that the world has to offer. I have built a brick wall around my heart to avoid receiving pain and sorrow from the discrimination and racism put against me for the choices, the personal choices that I have made in following my religion. I have a special place inside these walls, engraved with the inspiring words of Dawud Wharnsby in his many songs, such as this one, and as he sings them out proudly and full of admiration for his female counterparts. He says, "This hijab, this mark of piety, is an act of faith, a symbol for all the world to see. A simple cloth to protect her dignity, so lift the veil from your hearts to see the heart of piety." This song has been an influential and motivational part of my life growing up and continues to be as such to this day. Although it was produced in 1998, sadly it remains timeless in its meaning as we live these lyrics on a daily basis. Better decades late than never. Please lift the veils of ignorance. Let me embrace my dignity. Thank you.